Welcome to our program, Young Home Bay, and the CEO of the Ingmar Bergman's Foundation. Can you tell us a little bit about the centenary celebration of Ingmar Bergman?
Oh, sure. Yes. Well, we are launching the celebration already this year, now in September 2017, although he was born in 1918, so it is really the year 2018 which marks the centenary.
Why is that?
Well, there are so many things happening that it couldn't fit within a calendar year, so we needed to expand it a little. And I think that Bergman is, this is really all these jubilees that are based on different numbers, such as 100 or 200 years from when someone was born or died or something. It's a bit ridiculous because it doesn't really matter if it was 99 years ago or 100 or 2 years ago. But it seems that many people are fond of these even numbers, so we just wanted to take the opportunity to make sure that Bergman is celebrated worldwide in all kinds of ways.
So he's too great to celebrate just within Sweden and within 1 year, right?
Okay, yes, yeah, let's put it like that. That's true.
So then what will be going on, can you briefly tell us, what kind of activities?
Sure.
Roughly?
Yeah, there will be so many things, and literally all over the planet. There will be screenings of his films, of course, in cinematheques, in film museums, and in regular movie theaters and in television channels. But also Bergman is nowadays being staged as a playwright. Many theaters produce plays based on Bergman's manuscripts, and there will be some 50 odd or even more new stage productions next year based on Bergman. And in addition, we will have dance performances inspired by Ingmar Bergman. There will be book releases, both books by Bergman, new texts that have never been published before, but also books on Bergman. And there will be at least, if I'm not mistaken, I think 5 new film or television documentaries about Bergman, 1 Swedish, 2 German, I think, 1 French, 1 Finnish, and so on and so forth. So there will be things happening literally from Los Angeles to Shanghai, and from the Nordic countries down to South Africa, so all over the globe.
So you mean anyone who really interested in Bergman, they can just rewrite or reperform his works?
Yes, we invite people to participate in the celebration in all kinds of ways. However small, if they have a little theater with only a few seats, or whether they are big theaters. But also, of course, there are so many ways you can take part in this celebration, and we encourage all to do that.
Mm-hmm. It seems to me that actually Bergman is a little bit controversial inside Sweden than outside. Internationally, many people recognize him and influenced by him and say, "Oh, it's a really big master in film." But when you talk Swedish, it's a little bit different opinions. Why is that?
That's true. You're right. I don't dare to speculate on exactly why this is, but it's certainly true that Bergman has always been more appreciated abroad than he has been in his home country. I think that's true, though, for many artists, that they are not... perhaps they even become artists because they're not comfortable. If you are really comfortable in an environment, then perhaps you don't become an artist, but you work in the civil service or something like that. Many artists have expressed themselves by distancing themselves from the immediate environment, including their country of birth. And I'm not saying that Bergman did that exactly, but I do feel that many Swedes feel alienated to Bergman, and they have been a bit provoked, I think, of how the world has often regarded Bergman as typically Swedish, whereas we Swedes don't think that he's Swedish at all, that he's rather something else, that his worldview is very un-Swedish in a way.
Mm-hmm. But personally, how do you comment on Bergman?
Well, I think that he is a true genius, a universal artist, which, I mean, all the appreciation that Bergman continues to get from all around the world just testifies to the fact that he is really a universal artist whose work is relevant to people from all kinds of cultures, in all kinds of ages, and so on.
So he has actually dominant for many decades in the Swedish
Yes, of
society.
course. Sweden is a very, very small country. We have now around 9 million inhabitants, and that's, I mean, that's less than, even Beijing has, so in the whole country, and so coming from such a small country and being such a important, renowned figure in the world is always problematic, I think.
Mm-hmm. So through this long-term activity, what kind of goal you really like to achieve?
Well, we hope, of course, that many people who have always loved Bergman will have new discoveries, will see new aspects of Bergman that they didn't know existed. But of course we also want to reach out to a new audience who are not at all familiar with Bergman, who perhaps have heard the name but haven't really seen his films or read his books or so. But also, of course, those who have never even heard of Bergman but feel that this can be something for them as well. So that's our main goal.
So the younger generation maybe also review that, Grandpa Bergman, how he was, how great he was.
Right, exactly that, yes. And I'm sure that we will succeed in that, because I can see now how younger people are more and more interested in Bergman's work.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned that Fanny and Alexander will be performed in London.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any plan to be performed in China?
Well, it's not up to us. It's up to Chinese theaters, if they would be interested. I don't. I remember there is at least one Bergman play being performed in Beijing next year, but it's not Fanny and Alexander. I don't. I think it. No, I don't want to speculate which it is. I don't remember. But it would be great if there would be a Chinese production of Fanny and Alexander as well.
So any art troupe, if they are interested in Bergman, they can be freely to perform Bergman.
Sure, absolutely. They are very welcome to contact us. Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you
you
so much.